I guess let me know your biggest fitness goals right now, where you're at with them.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So right now, I'm basically I'm trying to get back to my past peak, basically my past peak fitness. So New Year's Eve, I want to say of 2022, I hit one 305-pound bench press, um, and that's about like 138 kilos. And then I hit, I think January, 3 weeks after that, and in 2024, I believe. Yeah, 2024. I had a 405-pound squat, 180 kilo squat. But yeah, I think right now, I think my goals are just try to get back to that peak fitness, because I feel like I have some more stuff to get, more potential to give them, and I think I can progress from it. So basically, I'm kind of shortening my split a little bit more, where I have it Monday, I'll have like a heavy chest day. Tuesday, I'll have my hypertrophy legs. I only do back once a week because I think that's my strongest body part, and I can only grow it so much, as opposed to other stuff, because I'm not deadlifting right now, and I don't really see deadlift not competing. With all due, not I would have to gain my numbers significantly if I wanted to take powerlifting seriously. So yeah, back Wednesday, and then Thursday I just like doing some heavy shoulder press and then some hypertrophy bench, and then Friday I just do heavy squats. So I kind of make it fun for myself, where I'll do, if I hit like a number 7, I can go up in weight, but if I go lower than 3 reps, I'll go down on the weight, just to make it like always fun, because I do the same exercises every single time, and I need to make it fun for myself. So I always have this goal every single time before I go into the gym. I always have a goal of what I'm going to be, what weight I'm going to be doing, and how many reps of that weight I'll be doing. So,
Sweet.
And then yeah, afterwards I can reflect on some film, and obviously I have like that Snapchat story where others could critique me if needed to. Like last week, somebody said, "Hey, you're bouncing your back on your squat, which is like you're leaning your back too far forward, which can cause like lower back pain." Kind of like a hack squat, or kind of like a belt squat thing. But yeah, maybe I'll look into it. And I think today that could very well have happened. Maybe I've been doing it this entire time, because I've been having it at like a different camera angle, but I don't really know. But we'll see what happens soon. But basically, yeah, those are my 2 goals, just to build those numbers back up. And so far we're doing good, but we can't be satisfied, because it's super hard. Once you get to that peak performance, you got to optimize it, and it takes, like, my meal plan. We can get into this too. It's basically the same things, and I'm just trying to, like, weight doesn't really matter for me right now. It's more about the performance, because as long as I'm making progress in the weights, who cares if I lost 2 pounds or I lost 1 pound or 1 kilo, whatever it may be, But yeah, that's kind of what I got going on. What about for you?
For me, main goals are just kind of slow and steady progress. So I was sort of trying the whole main gaining things. Well, since I'm, our training's a little bit different, and I'm mostly training for bodybuilding. So like I've definitely still focused on numbers and trying to get weights up or reps up. But yeah, all kind of for the main goal of bodybuilding at the end of the day. So yeah, I was doing main gaining for about a month or close to 2, and not to say that it doesn't work or anything, but I noticed for me, like, it's slow. It's super slow.
Right.
And so I'm not gonna do any insane bulks either, or insanely fast cuts or rush any of that stuff. But yeah, for the last month now, I think maybe a little over a month, I've I just decided to commit to another bulk. So just went from I'm just planning to get to about 175 pounds. I'm at about 170 right now. And I started it at like 165. So, and then, yeah, once I get to 175 pounds, I'll just plan to probably tread back down to 165, but hopefully with some added strength, and quite likely I'll be slightly leaner too, once I get back down to that same weight. So yeah, just a little bit more bulking. So I mean, yeah, it's a lot more blending up, oats, peanut butter, stuff like that. That definitely gets me through my day, helps me get my calories in.
Because I remember you saying in one of your past videos, your peak bulk was 190. Do you have any aspirations or maybe goals after this main gain to get back to 190-ish to feel? Because I think if you come at 190, you'd feel a lot more comfortable than you did in the past because you have some more muscle mass.
Yeah. Well, I actually ended up getting to 200 pounds too, so that video was probably slightly outdated in terms of what my peak bulk ended up becoming.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I did get to 200 pounds. 190 and 200 felt great in terms of, strength when I went to bench or whatever. But when it came to bodybuilding in general, it did hurt the self-esteem. Honestly, it was mostly like fat. Like, legitimately, it wasn't like I had less muscle mass than I do now. So I'm about 170 right now. I'm like 20 pounds lighter. I don't think I was across the line of being obese, right? But that was probably 20 pounds of fat that I had on top of my body. Like,
wow. Okay.
If not more than 20. Because like I said, there's no way that I don't have more muscle mass now. I was stronger in certain things. Like, my barbell squat was stronger, but I really truly think that was like just because I weighed more and because I was focusing on how to be strong with squat. I think my legs have like significantly more muscle mass now, especially because when I have gotten leaner, I mean, I'm not even insanely lean right now. I mean, I'm lean, like around 16% body fat, but not like insanely lean. And I mean, I have striations and veins in my legs, which like those were not around, obviously, at 190 pounds or 200, I wasn't as lean, but, yeah, just the shape and the size, it doesn't seem like it quite compared. So yeah, I think again in my life, I will get up to 190 again. I don't know about 200 anytime soon. I think I will get up to 190 again when I really have to force a heavier bulk to squeeze out some more gains, because I plan to stay natural for the foreseeable future.
Right.
But just me being like 5'8", I'm not a tall guy either. So there's only so large of I guess like a frame that is practical, in terms of how much weight you want to throw on your body. So yeah, I think someday I'll get there once I have enough muscle mass to be like, 180 and incredibly lean. The thing is, if I got to 180 pounds within the next 5 months, I would not be incredibly lean.
Yeah. Marathon, not a race. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I could get to 180 pretty quick, but if it was quick, it'd be mostly fat, not muscle. So, yeah, but someday, I mean, I know I'll get there someday. So it's just going to take years and years. Cause, like I said, even, like bulking didn't just speed anything up particularly. And it's, it's a blessing and a curse, because then I'm going to slow down the gains incredibly once I go back to a cut. If anything, postpone or hopefully not lose any of the gains that I put on. But yeah, even with a bulk, it's just incredibly slow, which I could sit here and be like incredibly disappointed and depressed about that, but honestly, it's cool. It's good to know that I am beyond that like intermediate stage finally, and it makes me feel accomplished, I guess, to know like the years of lifting I put on has put me now in a spot where like it really has slowed down because how much progress, I'm sure you've noticed the same too. Like your first year or two, your bench, your squat doubled. Then that's not probably ever going to happen again in any year of lifting.
Right. Yeah. So do you have a goal? Because you talked about your striations in your legs. You have, I assume maybe you have a goal of competing in a show.
I definitely would like to. Yeah. I'd say I feel like the soonest would be within a year, maybe 6 months. I mean, I guess I just don't know how I'll be looking. I just really want to put on, like if I was 180 lean with how, that much muscle mass on top of how I think my figure looks now, like, oh yeah, I mean, I would totally prep for a show. I just right now, not to say that I think I would do incredibly poorly or whatnot. I just feel like I would rather put on a bit more muscle mass before shredding down to below 10% body fat. Now, any month of the year, you could convince me to shred down to 10%, but below that,
yeah,
I don't really think is a wise decision for me if I want to continue to put on more muscle mass. Kind of like, Sam Sulek, everyone knows a little bit about him, and he waited for forever to compete, so, and, and I'm not blessed with his genetics either, and I'm also natural too, so, that's just two L's right there, but, yeah, to me, I guess, even though it's something I definitely want to do, I feel like I have nothing to gain, but by waiting, or nothing to lose by waiting, I guess. All I have is to gain, if that makes sense, because when I do compete, it'll just be that much better. But no, I don't plan to like try and reach my natural limit, because I think that's going to take like another 10 years or more.
Right. Yeah, you're still so young.
Yeah, but I think I do want to wait like another year because I feel like I've learned so much in the last like year, and I'm finally not doing the road construction, so I can really focus on like just growing and not having to just worry about maintaining for 7 months out of the year just to hold on to the gains, that I put so much work in the winter. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. And I don't really see myself winning either if I'm at 180. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't give it my all, and then I'm not trying my best right now to make that a possibility. I don't know if I have winning genetics, but yeah, I'd want to still give it the best that I can, but also, yeah, without waiting 10 years, to do it, because I think I'd rather try it sooner, and if I just find out like, oh, this is something I love to do, I love doing or whatnot, I would stick with it. And if I find out that like this is not something I'm passionate for and something I want to do and prep for shows and all this stuff, then it would be good to learn that too at a young age, and just keep going to the gym like I do, but not, stay more focused on the fitness aspect or whatever. Because yeah, if I find out I love prepping for shows and all those aspects of bodybuilding, then I'll plan to compete again, of course, whether I do good or bad, but yeah, so I'm thinking in the semi near future, just not
Not immediate. Okay.
Yeah, not immediate. Yeah, just kind of want to soak up a bit more natty gains over about a year. But yeah. Well, like I said, I'm pretty open. You know, if there's some crazy opportunity, and I'm like, whoo, like just seeing, I'm just feeling ridiculous. You know, at like 15% body fat, and you know, yeah, like I said, I feel like I'm already close to that point. Not that I'm just trying to like, you know, I'm trying to say this modestly, but yeah, at like my most recent in the last few months leanest form that I was at, about 14% body fat, I was yeah pretty pleased with how I was looking. I felt incredibly balanced. So in that form, in that uh, when it comes to balance, yeah, I felt ready to compete, but I just feel like I could put on more size overall. So I was like, yeah, I would not be the biggest guy, but in terms of aesthetics and balance, I think I do well. So yeah, how about?
With just you poke, I think you just start practicing posing today, whether it be your lat spread, front double, bicep, whatever it may be. You know, I think you can just start getting some practice, and because it takes a lot, because you're sucking all that, you're sucking in so much, and it's because I recently went to a gym before I moved to Berlin 3 months ago. I went to a gym called Los Campeones, and that's basically like a bodybuilding powerlifting gym. It's a huge chain in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, literally everybody there is like elite lifters, pretty much bodybuilding, powerlifting, whatever it may be, and a lot of the people there are on steroids. But they're so disciplined into their criteria. They're
Yeah, I mean, steroids really don't discredit anyone's work. There's maybe a small percentage of those. Maybe it's a larger percentage of those who blast gear, you know, who should be discredited because maybe that's all they do. Like those who know Togi, you know, I mean, he's just a funny, you know, influencer. He's really not a fitness role model or like a genuine bodybuilder or whatnot. But no hate really towards him. I honestly enjoy watching his stuff. But yeah, someone like him, you know, blasting gear and not really doing the other work into it, is not representative of everyone who takes steroids. So yeah, like I yeah, well, you know, like you said, yeah, there's a ton of elite lifters. I mean, they're elite for a reason, you know, and of course, like, yeah, maybe gear helped them get to that spot, but it's not just that. It's not just a needle that you know, makes you win in competition, whether it's powerlifting or
bodybuilding.
Yeah, that's cool though. I mean, yeah, I feel like, I guess, what do you think you think there's any cons going to a gym like that?
To a gym like that?
I've got to ask, yeah, where a lot of people are on gear.
It could be maybe, if you're a first time lifter, definitely, because you have the pressure of like you're always going to be the smallest guy, because it's going to take years. Because like the average person at this type of gym is 3, 4, 5 years into lifting. Bench usually like a 225, and yeah, like literally they're repping all that, and it can be very scary at first if you're a first time lifter in the gym. If you're paying, because those gyms, I think they raised it to $70. It could be very well more now. But it's very well worth it, because the one I went to in Hudson, Wisconsin, that was 24/7, so I could go literally at any time of the day, and I wouldn't worry about any machine being taken. Even though it was a little bit of a smaller gym, every machine was basically free around the time I would go, because I would go super early. But yeah, like I said, it can be very scary for new time lifters coming in, seeing that you're going to be the smallest person there, as opposed to going to like a YMCA, a Planet Fitness, or like a very smaller branch gym, basically, because all these people at this gym have these big aspirations. I'd say not everybody, but maybe a good chunk. I'd say a good chunk have big aspirations to maybe hit a 315 bench or compete in a show, whether it be a bodybuilding show or a powerlifting competition, something like that. And there's a lot of personal trainers too who, will go in early and they'll help many clients as well, which can be, it's great though. But again, it's all about networking. I think if you can go in, ask those people on steroids, whoever, even though they're on steroids, they're still big for a reason. They're still getting up early every single day, getting their protein in, getting their carbs in, whatever. And they're still tracking their workouts, tracking their sleep, doing all this extra stuff because, like you said, putting the needle in your body is one part of the thing. You still got to do so many things. Just putting yourself out there and asking them maybe in between a set, it may be scary. I'll admit, it might be scary going up to them after a set and say, hey, would you mind watching my set and critique my form or something? Or what would you recommend to build your quads or your hamstrings, glutes, whatever? I think they'll have some very good advice, and because heck, they could have competed in shows. Maybe they've gotten their pro cards. So, but yeah, I think my full answer to that is if you're a newbie lifter or maybe a first year lifter and you're just kind of moving into like that type of a gym. Oh, I've seen the pictures and everything. It's a super cool gym. It is super cool. Don't get me wrong, but it can be very, very mentally for someone going in and seeing, oh my goodness, all these people are so big. It's crazy, and because we hate to say it, but we always compare ourselves to others because. You see the influencer on Instagram and you say, oh, he just benched this, he's my age, he's younger than me, he's natural, why can't I be this, like this, or the girl, or the elite power, because we always compare ourselves, so that can be another route of something going in the negative slope.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, yeah, I think I'd honestly agree with like every point you made. Newer lifters, it would be, a bit tougher. I also feel like they'd be incredibly pressured to hop on gear too. I feel like even me, I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Being more experienced, I feel like if I was lifting with 90% of people who are on something, I'd think about it more. But I don't think that changed my decision on me wanting to compete natural for many times and see what I can do, over the next decade and even more than that, But yeah, honestly, I think it would plant more seeds in someone's brain in terms of like, what could I do if I did a little bit of this? But me having that experience, I think it wouldn't change my decisions, like I said. But it does sound like there are more pros, though. Especially if you have more time. But even for a newbie lifter, there are a lot of pros in going to a gym where everyone is more experienced. I think someone who's newer should never shy away from that, as long as they aren't going to be too pressured to just hop on early, and try to take the shortcuts. But I guess this is kind of a question I kind of thought of. You being an experienced natural powerlifter and all this, and let's be real here too. You have above average genetics, so you got to take that into account. 315 bench. What percentage of the population do you think actually can do that without steroids?
It's a great question. Definitely under 1%, I think.
Okay.
Because it is so hard.
That's low. That's a small person. Like, that's very few people.
I think it's under 1%. You have to be really dedicated, disciplined. If you don't really have you have to have genetics play one part. Like getting up to 225 is one thing, because I think anybody can get up to 225. I think it can be.
I think I agree. I think 95% of the population could get up there.
Unless you just have awful genetics. I still think you could work your way up, bulk many years or something, and still, become disciplined, track your workouts,
Yeah.
and reach 225. But then once I hit 295, oh my goodness, it's super hard, because I used to have such a wide grip of my bench press, and that was and that was a no-go, because that kind of messed up my shoulder, and cracking in my shoulder, so I'll just do some extra lat raises before I do bench pressing. But it is so it's so tough, because I'm basically lifting every single week, and that's one big I wouldn't say fear, but just kind of like caution I have for myself. If I take 1 week off from lifting, and I've been lifting for all these months or something, my numbers won't plummet, but it'll certainly be harder, because like once you're at your peak performance, it's so hard to climb above it. But yeah, like I said before, maybe under 1%, I'd say. I mean, it's super tough. Definitely under 5, but I mean I'd say maybe 1%, because you really have to.
Yeah, I'd say I agree.
It's tough, man. It's a really tough question.
I think under 1% for sure ever would. Like ever would have the like mental drive, determination, and actually have the genetics to do it in their life ever, but naturally, right? But I feel like 5% of people, like if they really, really applied themselves, I think physically they're born. I feel like, and not that this is a huge change in the number, but I feel like 5% of people physically from birth, if they really applied themselves, if they really wanted it, which is kind of a super unnecessary goal. So obviously a lot of people don't go this hard at it. But yeah, if they really wanted it, like I feel like 5% could. I have some friends who are like incredibly tall, and it might take them longer, but like they probably, if they went, like if both of us just went balls to the wall at the gym for the rest of our lives, they'd probably end up benching more than me, like at their very max, naturally, just because they're a larger human. They have larger bones, they have a larger frame. I just always think of it like a canvas. It's a bigger canvas, bigger painting, and and that's a little more objective than like bodybuilding being subjective, where like a tall guy, an incredibly tall guy is just never going to be at a great advantage with bodybuilding. But also, a medium height guy might be at the perfect range, and then some short guys kind of look amazing for it, but sometimes they can't put on enough size to really compete with the taller guys. So, but yeah, I feel like, maybe a slightly higher percentage of people could do it. Because I feel like I definitely could do it. I just don't powerlift like that, But I feel like, without a doubt, just knowing how much I've benched and like at the body weights that I've done it, and like I've seen clips of people, now obviously on the internet, who knows who's natural or what, but you see some small guys who likely aren't blasting gear if they're 140 pounds and they're benching 315. I mean, that's a different breed of human. Obviously, that's different genetics and different drive and determination that they have. But, like, I feel like there's a decent amount of people that could do it. Still a very small percentage, though.
Right, for my weight class right now, because I'm as of Monday, I'm about 197. I've basically been from the 193 to 197 range for the past 3, 4, 5 months. And for my weight class, if I were to do some research to see some number in powerlifting, I think the bench press sits right around 315, 320.
Wow. This is natural?
As natural, yes.
Wow. And that's just people. Okay, that like literally goes to show that's people who obviously care about it, right? Mm-hmm. And apply themselves. And if that's like the average bench for someone who's 197,
yeah,
like that is big. Don't get me wrong. Like you're almost 30 pounds heavier than me. You are pretty big, but like that's not like an incredibly large human, on the average weight, yeah, that's crazy.
It's just like if you were to go into your regional powerlifting, I'm not talking about like nationals, I'm not talking about like regionals. I think it's just like if you were to apply to your local powerlifting meet or something, I think this is just a good rough estimate of what the intended number would look like.
Yeah. Wow. It's a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm. Right. 100%. Yeah. Like I said with my goal, I think I still have some gas left in the tank, and I think I can keep pushing because I'm still putting out content every single Monday to Friday with my vids, and I think I'm making some progress. It's not like I'm in a hump yet, but it's still so early because I haven't even hit up to 275 since I moved away.
Yeah.
But I very well could hit it because I hit it 4 of 255 on Monday.
Nice.
But I mean, it's again, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of I treat it kind of like as a video game. You kind of have to level up to the levels and have to, get your sleep for that is not only for building muscle for bodybuilding, but sleep is so important. It's like for me,
it's the XP farmer.
It literally is, dude, because I didn't really realize this until like a summer ago, where I would be getting up super early, not getting a lot of sleep, and I'm not if I'm trying to really get past peak performance, I'm like, why am I making progress? Or no, why am I not gaining muscle, staying the same weight, whatever? And I'm like, oh, that's probably a good reason why, because I'm like eating about the same as I usually do, and all that stuff. Yeah, not saying enough, exactly. So I think it's a huge thing. So being able to find a job or something that can get you at the gym at the same time every single week, I think that's pretty important too. And getting up at the same time, going to bed at the same time, being disciplined to put your phone down and getting your sleep, getting your food in, all this other stuff. It's super important if you want to track your performance. And after a month, you can analyze it. You can say, hey, I did good. If it doesn't work, maybe you can try something new. Maybe you can go to bed an hour earlier, or start waking up earlier. Like for me, I learned I perform better in the mornings. I've only had one true night where I PR'd at late at night, like 11 p.m. or something. I always do my best, whether it's like 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. because my body's fresh and I can just eat some quick carbs, some 4 pieces of peanut butter toast, protein bar, protein shake, and I can go to the gym. And that's where I feel like I can perform my best, as opposed to if I'm working, because a lot of the jobs I'll be working is like physical labor, and I'll be pushing a lot of heavy things around, and are using like some of that fresh muscle or that fresh, what's that word for it? Yeah.
Energy, fresh energy. Yep.
And that's just, everybody's different though.
Yeah. I think after a day of work, no matter the job, I'd agree that I would do better before that. But sometimes maybe if I wasn't working, and I just go my whole day and I don't get to the gym until like 7 p.m., sometimes those are great lifts for me personally, just because I have 2-3 meals in me, two big meals and a snack, you know. It's just a lot of calories. It just adds up, especially on a cut. Sometimes I'll push my lifts to be slightly later in the evening just because I only have so much to eat. So it's like at least I can eat 1,500 calories before the gym. And then I don't need to worry about eating much after. But I'll learn a little more calories too at the gym. So, yeah, or sometimes, yeah, on a cut, I've even successfully lost weight, ate 2,000 calories before I've gone to the gym over 8 hours, gone worked out, and then I have about 500 to 700 calories once I get home, still lose weight. And yeah, that, but yeah, it really just depends on the lifestyle, right? And yeah, I feel like after a day of work, especially if it's physical labor, yeah, just nothing's gonna beat that fresh energy that you wake up with. After a one good breakfast, and yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad we really covered our goals today. I feel like we could definitely discuss more about our goals.
Just brief, yeah.
For those who don't know, I guess we never really did introductions. I don't really think we need to be that formal yet. We'll do plenty more of these. But this is Jonas, and he's in Germany. And then I'm Gabe, I'll throw this on the channel, but for wherever if we put this elsewhere where it's not on my channel, yeah, I'm Gabe. I'm here in America still, in Minnesota. So, but yeah, we didn't really even discuss, our differences this week about that, but I think we have plenty more time to do that. But yeah, I love talking about the differences, the dynamics between you mostly having been focused on powerlifting, and overall just like your performance throughout your years of lifting, and I've really narrowed in my training in the last couple years just on bodybuilding type of training. So
right, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's great to hear that you're doing well in your goals, and
oh, good. We've only started ever since we settled, and still got a lot of work to do. So, but that's what the challenge is, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting, one step closer every day, that's all it takes. Sometimes it's like one, at this point, sometimes it's tiny bit of weight. It's 2.5 pounds on a bench, or it's like 1 rep over 2 weeks. I'd still consider that a dub.
Yeah, it'd be tough mentally, because you always want to go up one rep every week, and it does stink seeing the same number lower, whatever. But you just have to keep pushing. You have to have that same mentality. Like, it could be mentally. I'll tell you, when you're about to do your set and you feel like you've lost some weight, over the past couple weeks, because maybe you got 1 hour less of sleep or something, and because we always have those negative thoughts that just come into our mind for no reason, and it stinks, but you really have to dig past it and push past it and hit your goals. So
absolutely. Yeah, well, I think I have a really good topic, whether we talk about this next week or we could talk about something else.
Yeah, up to you, man. We'll do it.
I think we could talk about this for a long time. Progressive overload.
Oh, yeah.
And not rushing it. So, like we were saying, it's so hard to squeeze out an extra rep or whatnot. Sometimes you always want to add some extra weight. But I think I did that at a certain point. And I'll end this briefly. But yeah, I've actually probably prevented myself from progressively overloading because I was so obsessed about adding a little more weight on. And I wasn't, I was maybe changing my form up just to do it. So, but yeah, well, I think we've got great conversation cooked up for today though. But, yeah, thanks a lot for, speaking with me on all this, Jonas, and reaching out to me about getting some conversations like this cooking, because I think, this is a great idea. We could go on for hours.
Mm-hmm. You can make something out of it, right?
And hopefully someone can learn something. Definitely ask any questions, or if you got any ideas in the comments, please throw them out there, because we'll take them. We'd love to talk about it. I love feedback.
Yep, criticisms, everything. Yep.
Yes, all that. We'll get video on next time too, and we can do whatever else. Get it looking all Joe Rogan and whatnot, but
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take off then for now, then, Jonas, because I gotta hit a lift to hit myself. I'm gonna run some legs today, so.
Alrighty. It's been fun, man.
All right, bro. Well, you have a great one. Thanks again for talking.
Yep. Thank you. Take care.
Take care, man. Yep.
Bye.
Bye.